ArborGen, the world's leading provider of high-quality seedlings for the forestry industry, works every day to create thriving forests that benefit landowners, the environment, and future generations. With multiple locations across the Southeast United States and across Brazil, we have been providing sustainable forestry solutions for more than 20 years. You may have thought, why would you think about a seedling company regarding carbon? Impacts from climate change are being felt globally with more violent weather, temperature extremes, megaforest fires, and rising sea levels. Pressure from consumers, investors, and regulators has resulted in major companies into taking carbon action by adopting long-term carbon goals. What they are looking for is a way to accumulate carbon credits. That is where we come in. Reforestation, afforestation, is the global, nature-based, largest-scale solution to remove carbon from the atmosphere. Forests have an important role to play in the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Trees capture carbon dioxide, one of the main greenhouse gases, from the atmosphere and store it in trunks, branches, foliage, and roots. Typically, about half a tree's dry weight is carbon, which can be multiplied roughly by 3.7 to work out how much carbon dioxide the tree has taken from the atmosphere. The measurement of greenhouse gases began in 1957. Since then, scientists have developed many methods to measure ground, air, and space gases, and these measurements help the government and companies measure the impact of their emissions. There are identified as Scope 1, direct emissions, think burn, and Scope 2, indirect emissions from purchased energy, are already on the books. Calculating the greenhouse gas emissions and the carbon credits needed to offset them are passed on to these two scopes. Scope 3 is creating an even bigger demand for credits. We believe increasing afforestation and reforestation is the answer. Large public companies like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, as well as smaller private and public organizations, are looking for those opportunities to purchase carbon credits. They have made commitments to be carbon neutral or carbon free in the near future. Carbon project developers like our partners at Chestnut Carbon are providing high-quality, sustainable restoration projects to companies and landowners with our seedlings to produce carbon credits. And government programs can provide funds to assist in planting seedlings for carbon projects. Since 2007, more than 5 billion ArborGen native species seedlings have been planted on more than 10 million acres. What is the potential carbon capture from those trees? Assuming an estimated harvest at 25 years, these trees have the potential to capture 1.5 billion metric tons of CO2. So where is ArborGen in the carbon credit process? As you know, science-based targets are set by organizations such as the Standards-Based Targets Initiative. Once a project developer has the property to plant, we provide selectively bred tree seedlings that provide the necessary carbon sequestration. Those companies or organizations then purchase those carbon credits, and carbon credits are issued. Although we may not control the steps of the carbon value chain from the land to the sale of the carbon credit, ArborGen's selectively bred seedlings can guarantee the quality of carbon removal and achieve economies of scale. A series of studies in the U.S. South have shown what forestry practices have the most impact on carbon stocks. Here you can see that genetically advanced species play a large role in that very thing. What is a selectively bred seedling? For ArborGen, that is MCP. That's where we take the best of the best mother tree and cross it with the best of the best father to produce MCP. These seedlings are bred to grow faster and produce about 40% more volume, those very characteristics that sequester more carbon. Unlike open-pollinated trees, mass-control pollinated trees allow us to know the mother and father trees. Each spring, we bag the flower of the mother tree. Then one by one, we inject the pollen of a superior, known father tree into the bag to produce the best of the best trees. But finding those best of the best takes time. ArborGen has more than 70 years of research in developing faster-growing, higher-volume trees. The very things that capture more carbon. We continue to gather definitive data that proves that our seedlings provide that to our landowners. Growing trees is not for the faint of heart. It takes a long time to find the best tree and a long time to grow it. Selective breeding, knowing the mother and father tree genetics, can increase the volume gain of up to 40% over open-pollinated trees. With an increase in volume comes an increase in carbon capture, an almost 37% increase. We have the data to prove it. The life cycle assessment is an internationally accepted measurement standard that maps a product's life from cradle to grave. Not only do the products we see and use every day store carbon, but even nanocellulose can be produced and used in existing products like concrete to improve performance. Cement is the third largest industrial source of air pollution. Along with healthy, fast-growing trees capturing carbon, the benefit of finished wood products is that they retain that carbon over time. In fact, even decaying in a landfill, wood products hold carbon. Planned forest plantations intertwined with and around natural forests can create the optimum carbon capture system. But it's not just carbon capture. Sustainably managed forests provide habitat for wildlife, improve water quality, recreation, and wood products. ArborGen has a wide range of tree seedlings from which to choose. From selectively bred MCP pine and eucalyptus to hardwoods, we are able to fill the needs of landowners, whatever their carbon goals. So from seedling to forest to final product, forestry has the opportunity to be the leader in the sustainable sequestration of carbon. The first step, build it. And ArborGen is the partner you need to start the process. ArborGen's environmental awareness is deeply rooted in our role as stewards of the land, guiding our commitment to sustainable practices for future generations. We have been doing it for a long time. It's now more important than ever.